The world has more inhabitants, and cities have expanded. Transportation becomes expensive and slow, and roads are congested. Trains and subways help, but they don't solve everything. The major challenge is the growth of cities. Multi-billionaire Elon Musk sees the traffic solution as three-dimensional. For him, tunnels are the answer. Our streets are flat, while buildings are vertical. Vertical cities demand more mobility, but there's a lack of space to widen the streets. This challenge is global, especially in highly populated areas. However, companies innovate in transportation, seeking solutions and profit. Since 2011, China has been exploring the idea of an ambitious tunnel connecting Dalian to Yantai in the Bohai Strait. Planned to be the world's largest, this tunnel, at an impressive 105 kilometers, would surpass the combined length of the current top two, Japan's Seikan and the Eurotunnel, which links France and the UK. China sees enormous benefits in this project. Firstly, it would link the east to the northeast of the country, areas that are home to about 500 million people. Currently, to make this journey, one needs to circumvent over 1,000 kilometers of highways and pass through the bustling city of Tianjin. Secondly, positioning China as a pioneer in the excavation industry would be a significant milestone. However, the complexities are undeniable. It's believed the project would require between 15 to 20 years and a budget exceeding $45 billion. Currently, a ferry ride on this route takes 8 hours. With the tunnel, a high-speed train would reduce this time to 40 minutes. Estimates indicate an annual revenue of $3.7 billion, potentially allowing for the recovery of investment in about 10 years. However, these 10 years would only commence after the 20 years of construction. This means that in reality, the return on investment could take up to 30 years or more. And this optimistic scenario is specific to China. In European regions with lower population density, similar projects could take over half a century to offer returns. The necessary excavation technology is already available, but it's slow and costly. Interestingly, after the completion of such works, the norm is to leave the machinery buried, as retrieving it would be even more expensive. In summary, tunnel construction is a considered decision. They are considered when there are no alternative land-based options or when they prevent larger problems. In the Chinese case, it seems that the benefits outweigh the hurdles. Building tunnels has been a traditional way to alleviate congestion in cities. But what if we could make the construction process 10 times cheaper and, at the same time, 10 times faster? Would our cities be filled with networks of tunnels, effectively easing congestion and making urban transport more fluid? The answer may lie in Elon Musk's vision and innovation through his company, the Boring Company. Musk, known for revolutionizing various industries, seems to have his sights set on revolutionizing tunnel construction. He has already shown that he can turn what seems impossible into reality, as he did with SpaceX in the space field. Sending something into space was notoriously expensive, with the cost hovering around $18,500 per kilogram. It seemed like an acceptable price until SpaceX entered the scene. Musk's company managed to reduce this cost to an impressive $2,720 per kilogram. And how did he achieve this feat? The reuse of rockets was one of the major milestones, along with a series of progressive improvements throughout the launch and recovery process. Now, this innovative perspective is focused on the world of tunnel construction. Musk understands that to revolutionize this industry, it would be essential to reduce excavation costs. And according to information from the Boring Company's official website, they have managed to achieve this goal. Let's look at the numbers to gain some perspective. Conventional tunnel projects, especially ones like subways, have a construction cost ranging from $100 million to $1 billion per mile excavated. That's a significant sum. However, the Boring Company's approach, referred to as loop, has a cost of only $10 million per mile. This cost difference is revolutionary. But Musk knows that just cutting costs isn't enough. Speed is essential. Interestingly, the standard excavation speed of traditional methods is described as being 14 times slower than a snail. The Boring Company aims to transform this statistic with a combination of techniques and innovations. First, they proposed starting the excavation directly from the ground, avoiding the need to dig an initial shaft. Additionally, the installation of support concrete happens simultaneously with the excavation, eliminating delays. They also supercharged the excavating machines, tripling their power and optimizing the cooling system. Other innovations include replacing the traditional rail system with rubber tires. This brings multiple advantages. It saves on installation, reduces maintenance, and minimizes the risks associated with derailment. The commitment to efficiency is evident in every aspect of the project. From building excavation machines in-house to using excavated materials in brick production, every step has been meticulously planned. The standard size of the tunnels has also been optimized to 3.65 meters in diameter. Additionally, the company opted for exclusively electric vehicles, making the tunnels cleaner and reducing the need for complex ventilation systems. Regarding the user experience, there has been a shift. The initial idea was to use a skate where cars could park. However, this has been revamped, and now the car itself makes the journey, provided it meets certain criteria, such as being electric and autonomous. Speaking of innovation in transportation, we can't forget about the concept of the Hyperloop proposed by Musk in 2013. He envisioned a high-speed transport system in sealed tubes, utilizing electric propulsion and magnetic levitation. This would be a revolutionary way to connect cities, turning hours of travel into minutes. And, in a collaborative spirit, Musk opened up the idea for companies worldwide to contribute. Musk's vision for urban transportation is nothing short of revolutionary. And with tests already underway, the future looks promising. Various entrepreneurs, governments, and engineers are seeking to develop a new technology. Billionaire Richard Branson leads this race. On November 8, 2020, a test was conducted in Las Vegas. This test achieved 172 km per hour, covering 500 meters in 15 seconds. Branson's company, Virgin, claims that the capsules could surpass 1,000 km per hour. According to the BBC, this means traveling from Rio to Sao Paulo in half an hour. Additionally, Virgin Hyperloop is researching global routes. For instance, connecting Dubai to Abu Dhabi in just 12 minutes. Another company in the race is California's Hyperloop Transportation Technologies. They already have a test tunnel. Companies like Hart, Celeros, and Transpod are also competing. The best part is that this technology is entirely eco-friendly, and with solar panels on the tubes, it becomes self-sufficient. The Investopedia compared the Hyperloop to high-speed trains. For a route like Los Angeles to San Francisco, Hyperloop would be faster and more cost-effective. However, the costs are still uncertain. The technology, still in development, has technical challenges to overcome. While Elon Musk is thinking about tunnels, other companies see potential in air transportation. This innovation may be closer than we think. Urban mobility faces a new milestone, the emergence of eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. This innovation has the potential to transform the future of transportation, and several companies are already embarking on this journey. One of the main players in this scenario is Uber. Known worldwide for its ride-sharing service, it has shown interest in expanding into the skies through the Uber Elevate project. Founded in 2016, this project was not just a bold attempt to fly over congested traffic. It was an innovative proposal that brought together regulators, political leaders, real estate developers, and tech giants. Together, these actors began to outline a shared aerial future. Uber Elevate stood out not only for being aerial but also for its implementation strategy. Instead of picking up passengers at their doorstep, the aircraft would depart from hubs located in strategic locations, such as the tops of buildings. Just imagine, you walk or use another means of transportation to get to this hub, access the app on your phone, make the reservation, and in a few minutes, you're flying through the city sky. And the most surprising part? The projected cost was similar to an EmbraerX ride. However, since Uber never invested in having its own fleet of cars, the strategy for eVTOLs was similar. Instead of manufacturing the aircraft, they sought partners. Thus, in December 2020, a surprising move occurred. Joby Aviation acquired Uber Elevate. The transaction made sense, as Uber had already invested $50 million in Joby and committed to invest another $75 million after this acquisition. Joby Aviation's plans are ambitious and impressive. The company promises aircraft that combine speed, silence, and affordability. Its design aims to carry up to 4 passengers, plus the pilot, and reach speeds of up to 240 km per hour. Additionally, the aircraft will be able to travel up to 320 km on a single charge. However, in such an innovative market, the competition is fierce. Major companies, with decades of experience and almost limitless resources, are also eyeing the potential of eVTOLs. GM, a giant in the automotive industry, during the 2021 Consumer Electronics Show, CES, revealed its concept. A video presented by the company suggested that technology for private flights would be available in approximately 5 years. Meanwhile, EmbraerX, the innovative arm of the aircraft manufacturer Embraer, also aims for a significant share of this promising market. They are not only designing an eVTOL but also urban air traffic control systems, known as UATM. The idea is to ensure that as these aircraft become popular, there is infrastructure for safe and efficient flights. In addition to traditional aviation and automotive companies, drone companies are also entering this competition. After all, essentially, an eVTOL is an enlarged and more sophisticated drone. The Chinese company EHang is an example. They offer a unique perspective, proposing a system that controls multiple drones simultaneously. But, as in any emerging industry, there are challenges. And these challenges have led some giants, like Boeing and Airbus, to reassess their involvement. Both, affected by the pandemic and other factors, have halted their eVTOL projects. The uncertainty extends to the question, when will eVTOLs be ready for commercial operation? Although the exact answer is elusive, what is undeniable is the interest and ongoing investment in the technology. Rumors even suggest that Tesla might join the competition, leveraging its expertise in electric vehicles and its aerospace knowledge acquired through SpaceX. This market has also caught the attention of the military forces. The US Air Force, for instance, has shown interest in eVTOLs. Their involvement could accelerate the regulation and adoption of these aircraft. Things are evolving rapidly, seeming like science fiction. But they are already a reality. Elon Musk's company, the Boring Company, has completed 2 transportation tunnels. The most recent one is in Las Vegas. Major hotels and casinos have already expressed interest in having their private tunnels. eVTOLs are progressing, just like the Hyperloop. When one country regulates and operationalizes these innovations, others will follow suit. Nobody wants to be left behind. Soon, many will choose to live in smaller cities and work remotely. 2020 showed that this is feasible. New technologies will facilitate movement within and between cities. Perhaps conventional public transportation will become obsolete, especially in places like Brazil, where contracts benefit only a few companies. With underground transportation tunnels, high-speed transportation tubes, and eVTOLs, the face of metropolises could be completely transformed. One thing is certain, the future of urban transportation is exciting and is quite literally taking off. How do you envision the future of transportation? Will we travel through tunnels, tubes, or call for aerial Ubers?